Hello, I'm Tim Krul. Welcome to Norwich City Central.
Hello everybody, Lewis, Norwich City Central. I hope you're all doing well. It's the 1st of December and now we're starting to get towards the Christmas period. All the Christmas music comes on, the same old Christmas music year after year, but hopefully you all get through it and hopefully you all have a good December and a good Christmas after a very eventful year. And in this video it's going to be a Norwich versus Luton predicted XI and preview. In the video I'll be going through the injury updates, so many injuries to talk about, and I'll be reacting to Daniel Farke's press conference and what he said, and then obviously talking about Luton and Norwich and giving my score predictions. First, if you are new to Norwich City Central, do hit the subscribe button. Match reviews, match preview, and of course the good news on Saturday that fans will be able to start attending football games. So plenty of content to come on Norwich City Central, so why not hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. It's the end of November, as I said, the 1st of December. Norwich City have had 5 games in November and some really positive results, as you can see on the screen. 3 clean sheets in there too. And for me, the player of the month has to be Grant Hanley. He was absolutely exceptional, and Norwich City's brilliance has been built on a good defence, and Ben Gibson and Grant Hanley have been absolutely brilliant at the back. 10 games unbeaten, Norwich City are top of the league with a whole host of injuries. That is absolutely unbelievable work, and yeah, Daniel Farke has done a really, really good job. So let's go through the injury updates now, and let's see what Daniel Farke has had to say about a whole host of injuries. A really interesting press conference, so let's talk about it right now. Let's start with the back. Tim Krul. Daniel Farke revealed he'd be out for a few weeks. But of course, with so many cram fixtures, actually, I'll put the fixtures on now. As you can see, there's eight fixtures in December. It's going to be absolutely chaotic. 3 games a week for most of it. So of course 3 weeks is actually quite a handful of games. But in the press conference, Daniel Farke revealed Tim Krul would his rehab's going well and he'll be back before the 3 weeks. So Tim Krul might return maybe in a couple of weeks, which is really good news because he is our a superb goalkeeper. Fullbacks are still out. Mumba out till February. Byram expected return January. And Javi Quintila we're not sure about yet. But the big news on Max Arrons, of course, one of Norwich City's best players. He was on crutches leaving Carrow Road. He was hobbled off. It really did not look a good sight. Max Arrons on crutches. Goodness knows how long he's going to be out for. He's back next game. Max Arrons will be back against Luton. Brilliant, brilliant news. Absolutely remarkable. Max Arrons looked in so much pain, was in crutches leaving Carrow Road, and he'll be back against Luton. He's absolutely fine. So Norwich City getting very lucky there, and it's hugely important we don't get any more injuries, particularly to our best players. So it's great that Max Arrons came off unscathed. Moving on to the midfield areas, Lucas Rupp is out for 2 weeks, and some good news on Kenny McLean. Kenny McLean doesn't need surgery. If he did, he's out for the season, which is absolutely devastating for the Mayor. But the Mayor will be back for around Christmas time. And on the topic of Christmas as well, Kieran Dow will also be back around Christmas time. That's really good to see. Kieran Dow had a terrible injury on the 2nd game of the season against Preston North End, but he looks like he's going to be back slightly before schedule, which is really good news. No update on Todd Cantwell in terms of when he'll be back, but the rehab's going well, so I'm sure Todd Cantwell will probably be back in a couple of weeks' time to try and navigate all these fixtures. No update on Ono Hernandez, no update on Jordan Hugill, Adam Ida out till February. And on the topic of Teemu Pukki will be back for Saturday, but will miss the game against Luton. So of course that means Norwich City are going to have to go into another game without any striker, which is absolutely crazy. And I really do think that Norwich City should have kept players like Sinani and McCallum. But it's good that Pukki will be back and it's not a long-term absence, because we all know how critical Teemu Pukki is to this Norwich City side. So in terms of the predicted XI, I'll leave it on screen here. Michael McGovern in goal had a decent performance against Coventry, although did make one mistake. Back four of Sorensen, Gibson, Hanley and Max Arrons. And it's so ironic. It is so ironic that with all of our centre-back issues last season, the amount of injuries we had at centre-back, going into the season with only 3 centre-backs and the likes of Grant Hanley and Ben Gibson known for being injury prone, it's ironic that none of them have got injured and we actually finished the game against Coventry with 3 centre-backs. So with all the injuries we've had, it's crazy that none of our centre-backs have got injured, particularly when you consider how the lack of football Grant Hanley and Ben Gibson have played recently. So long may that continue. And Max Arrons, it's so good to see him back. In terms of central defensive midfield, I think Farke will stick with Tetty and Skip, particularly in an away game like this. Luton have started the season relatively well, and I think Farke will continue with Skip and Tetty, and they've been really good the last couple of games. It's really good to see Tetty back. In terms of the 3 attacking midfielders, I think he'll stick with Projeta on the left, Still needs to slightly improve his end product, but similar to when Ono Hernandez first came to Norwich, I think he's really starting to click. And once he gets that end product, it's going to be absolutely frightening because his pace and his directness automatically causes teams problems. On the right, Josh Martin, I think he's playing very well. Obviously played very, very well against Stoke, got himself an assist, and against Coventry as well, had some chances to score, and I've got no doubt he will. He's getting into the right areas, he's doing the right things. And in the middle, in that number 10 role, I'm going to go with Emi Buendia. I think Mario Rancic will go back to the bench knowing Daniel Farke, but it's so good to have Emi Buendia back after his suspension. Created the most chances in the league. He's a player with absolute brilliance. Can sometimes, his hot-headedness can sometimes make him make some very weird decisions. But we love Emi Buendia. He's football heaven, and it's a miracle he's still at Norwich City Football Club because he's a top player. And up front, I think we're going to stick with Marcus Stupin. I thought he did a job against Luton, but of course it'll be great to have Pukki back, hopefully for Sheffield Wednesday when fans are back in the ground. So that is the team I would play against Luton. As I said, in Norwich, 10 games unbeaten, things are going really well, and our success has been built from a brilliant defence, and long may that continue. And when you've got quality in attacking areas, we've got so much attacking depth, you feel like Norwich City are going to be okay in games. But 10 games unbeaten, let's continue that run, continue the momentum against Luton. In terms of Luton, under Nathan Jones and Luton just go hand in hand, don't they? It's remarkable that Luton are in the Championship. They did brilliantly to survive on the last day of the season. And yeah, Luton look a decent outfit, a competitive outfit. And I think Luton will probably finish mid-table this season. James Collins up front is a really, really good striker. Norwich City have already played Luton so far this season. Cast your minds back to the early stages of September. Luton beat Norwich 3-1 in the first round of the Carabao Cup. And yeah, it's great that Norwich City weren't in the Carabao Cup because all our players would probably be injured if we had more fixtures. And in that game against Luton as well, I think we had 15 or 16 players unavailable. We had to play Dan Barden in goal. We didn't have many options, and that was because of, I think the international break was during that first round of the Cup. So, yeah, Norwich City are certainly used to having a very thin squad, and they're going to have to do it again against Luton, and let's hope for a more positive result. But, of course, in the league, it matters more. So, yeah, Luton, James Collins is their star man. In terms of Luton's home form, they haven't actually won their last 5 games at home. They've had a couple of losses, a few 1-1 draws. So Luton haven't got the best record at their home ground, but away from home they've had some really decent results, and of course are sitting very well in the table. So it's going to be a tough game for Norwich. I think it's going to be one of those games which are done by fine margins, but Luton are coming off the back of a 4-0 loss to Cardiff, and Cardiff are not doing very well this season. So I think it's a good opportunity for Norwich City to win this game. My only concern with Norwich is just Marcus Stupin up front. He's not having a recognised striker could hurt Norwich, and yeah, it'll be very interesting to see. But in terms of my score prediction, Norwich City have been brilliant at the back, and I think that will continue. Luton not necessarily scoring lots of goals as well, so I'm going to go for Luton 0, Norwich City 1, and Josh Martin to score the winning goal. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below in the comment section. But overall, to summarise, a really positive Daniel Farke press conference, which we're not used to. We're not used to as Norwich City fans hearing positive injury news. Max Arrons is okay. A lot of the players look like they're going to be coming back earlier than expected. And hopefully, in a couple of weeks' time, our squad's looking a lot more healthier, and we're still sitting pretty at the top of the table. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to Norwich City Central if you are new, and yeah, I'll see you later.